There's 100% tariff right now, as I'm speaking to you, against electric vehicles from China. 15 years ago, a competition began, or maybe even earlier, among automobile companies across the world to make the transition from gasoline-burning engines in our vehicles to electric vehicles. And in this country, we celebrate Elon Musk because the Tesla company was an early pioneer in doing that. Meanwhile, the effort of other companies, now that they couldn't be the number one first one, Tesla did that, would be to outcompete them. That's how capitalism works. If you're an auto company, for example, in China, you will at least try to produce a better quality electric vehicle at a lower price, because then you can capture the market. Especially, you have to capture a market already focused on Tesla. And remember, GM and Ford and Toyota, they're all working to develop electric vehicles as well. 10 to 15 years later, now, we know who won the competition. It's the Chinese, something we're going to have to get used to because it is happening in one industry after another. The best electric vehicles in the world at the lowest price are produced by something called the BYD, those three letters, the BYD Corporation. By the way, stands for Build Your Dream. English words, basic for the Chinese company. So here's how you can understand my use of it as an example. If you're an American businessman and you want to participate in the transition from fossil fuel burning cars and trucks in your business to electric cars and trucks in your business, you and your competitors around the world, whatever you produce, whether it's plastic cups or software programs or hamburger rolls, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you need in the way of cars and trucks, you want to get, because you're a businessman or woman, the best quality input at the lowest price. But the best quality input at the lowest price would be, just for hypothetical, a $30,000 vehicle from China. A few weeks ago, I was in Paris, France. BYD cars are all over the street, including lots of taxis are BYD cars. But I live in Manhattan and I never see a single one of them. Never have. And it's clear why. Because if you wanted to get the $30,000 car and you were an American business, or the $30,000 truck and you were an American business, you'd have to send 30 grand to China to get the truck shipped. And then you'd have to give Uncle Sam another 30,000. That's what 100% tariff means. So the total cost to you would be $60,000. But Tesla, Toyota, GM, and Ford will all sell you electric cars and trucks for less than $60,000. They'll sell them to you for 40 or 50. And you'll buy them because they're cheaper. You will have paid more than your competitor who can get that truck for 30,000. And you'll get a crappier truck. And you know what that means over the long run for every American company that has a foreign competitor? The American company will lose. Now, who counts that? Nobody. Who asks how many jobs will be lost as the effect of the tariff here works its way through the economic system? Answer: nobody. It is shocking, but I'm one of the few economists you're likely to find who even admits everything I just said, even though it's a basic economics that is actually taught in the classroom, even if and when the teacher doesn't apply it to an example now the way I just did. But it shows you that what the consequences are of the tariffs once they're really in place and once the delays are over, is an unknown answer. And there are many examples that used to be taught as a matter of course in American universities that would suggest there's a good reason the world hasn't done that for a long time. There's a good reason that the only country in the world right now doing that is the United States. Nobody else is hitting the rest of the world with blanket tariff increases. In fact, the only tariff increases you see these days are explicitly and clearly in evidence retaliation for what the United States has begun.